Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. Sorry that my hair's puffy again. I just had to go outside or whatever to check if I had any damage to my house or whatever. So, yeah, from the Hurricane Ian or whatever. But I'm returning to you for an album review. And sorry that I mentioned that Hurricane Ian thing and other things like that and checking my house outside. I was just checking for like damage or whatever. But everything's okay, so some things need to be fixed, but everything else is okay. But this is for Drowning Pool's new album, Strike a Nerve, that I'm going to be reviewing for you guys uh, this afternoon. So I'm going to discuss what I listened to for all 11 songs for the new Drowning Pool album, Strike a Nerve. And sorry that I mentioned that thing at the beginning of the video. It just was That's why my hair was puffy, because the wind was blowing outside too as well. So yeah, and I'll let you know what I thought of this Drowning Pool Strike a Nerve album on what I listened to. So let's dive into this album review for this new album review. Now it starts with Doing Time in Hell, and that's only a intro track, and already it's pretty strong, so 5 out of 5 for that one. um, Not really hating how it's sounding. It's mostly an intro track, so yeah, 5 out of 5. Hate Against Hate is solid. Not sure if I'm feeling for the angsty vocals from Jason. Honestly, Drowning Pool has kind of fallen off for me since the Body song and Feel Like I Do song as well, which I kind of personally enjoyed that track. I have a guilty pleasure towards that song, but the song Feel Like I Do, but Bodies is my personal favorite, and some of that album from Sinner. I started listening to that album one time and I was like, pretty interesting. So I'd have to go back and hear it again and see what I think of it, because I did enjoy the song Bodies. But yeah, pretty much Hate Against Hate is a solid track. Not sure if I'm connecting with it too much with how Jason's singing it, but it's solid. So 4.5 out of 5. Stay and Bleed was a pretty solid track. Not sure if I like it too much because of more clean vocals than scream vocals in this, but it's alright for what it is, so I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. Strike a Nerve is kind of cringy. Not sure if I'm connecting with it, but it's solid. It's not terrible, it's just solid in its own way, so I'll give it a strong 4.5 out of 5. It's an alright song. So next is Racing to a Red Light. Sorry, I was scrolling through my phone real quick to see uh, what the track names are and all that. So, Racing to a Red Light is a solid track. It has a pretty good intro to the song with the melody, but then Jason, I don't know what it is with the mixing for the rest of the song. It just feels a little disconnected for me. But in a way, I think it did alright. So 4.5 out of 5. Choke is a pretty solid track. Not sure if I'm feeling for some of the angsty vocals from pretty much the angry vocals from Jason in this track. His angry singing vocals are pretty solid, but I don't know if they strike the landing of being very good, but you'll be surprised what I think of the final second half of the album for the rest of the songs, of course. So, yeah, 4.5 out of 5 for Choke. It's solid. It's just, I don't know if I'm connecting with it too much. Everything But You was a pretty nice song. I really like this one. It mixes perfectly. Sorry if I'm slurring with the wording I'm trying to use. It mixes perfectly with Jason's vocals with this track, and it sounds right on the nail with how it's sounding overall with Jason singing the song. It sounds pretty good, so 5 out of 5. Down in the Dirt, this is where the album starts to get better. This is where I'm really feeling for the tracks, and I'm like, yes, this is a good thing. So 5 out of 5 for Down in the Dirt. I really like this track. Some of the angry vocals I can get behind on this one because it you feel a little more for his angry vocals in this track, for Jason's angry vocals, and the drum work and guitar work's pretty strong on this one. So yeah, 5 out of 5. Rope is another pretty strong track. It has some heavy tendencies like the tracks 2 to 6 had, but basically some of them, to be honest with you, they almost sounded similar to each other, like tracks 3 and 4 and number 2 as well. Like same chunky riffs and drum work too, just felt similar to each other, but that's what I noticed when going into this album. But other than that, the track Rope is a pretty strong song, so 5 out of 5 in my opinion. Devil More Damned is my favorite song, and so is Mind Right. Those tracks were the best songs to close out this album, and I really enjoyed Devil More Damned, so 5 out of 5. And also Mind Right has a pretty good screaming vocals from Jason in this song, and it sounds pretty good. So 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it instrumentally and screaming wise with Jason's angry scream vocals. Sounds pretty good. So yeah, 5 out of 5. Overall production, mixing, and execution, I think Drowning Pool Strike a Nerve album was pretty good. It's not something I'd come back to too much, but I'm starting to grow attached to this album. I gotta give it a few more listens and see if it grows on me throughout time, but it's a pretty good listen. So I'm really surprised. They're as good as when they were back in 2001 with the Sinner album, in my personal opinion, but hey, everyone's got their own opinion when it comes to Drowning Pool and all that with their newer stuff, but this is a step in the right direction. So overall, I think Drowning Pool Strike a Nerve album was a pretty good listen. Not my personal favorite album, but it's a pretty good album. So first score for me, I'm giving Drowning Pool Strike a Nerve album an 8.5 out of 10. Pretty good album. Definitely recommend checking it out, seeing what you think of it for yourself. If this is not the band for you, you'd have to find something else. Because not everyone's going to like what you're going to like with music. But I have my preferences with music. So, yeah. Anyways, comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of the Drowning Pool album, Strike a Nerve. If you've listened to this album, it's coming out at midnight tonight, so definitely check this album out when it comes out. And if you enjoyed this album review I did for Drowning Pool Strike a Nerve album, comment below and let me know what you guys thought of this album review. Tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can. Support the channel. I will be returning to you for another review, but it's mostly going to be for the Fire from the Gods track review, World So Cold. I'm going to check that song out and see what I think of it. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this Drowning Pool Strike a Nerve album review. I did the best I could to make it as good as possible. Yes, Strike a Nerve has some cringy moments in the track, the title track itself, but basically, it's a guilty pleasure a bit. It's not that terrible. It's just solid. It's not great, but it's solid. But anyways, I just wanted to mention that nitpick because some of the beginning had some similar sounds to the instrumentally. It was sounding similar to each other for certain songs, but for the first three songs, but still. Hope you enjoyed this album review. I'm gonna end it here. So stay safe, take care, guys, and as always, I will see you in my next review.